Okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead and record this. So anybody who wasn't able to make it, hopefully this will help you as well. So first, want to just give you guys an update on where we're at with Pay at Close. We just had a meeting with the ISN engineers. They were hoping it was going to get launched yesterday, but they had to set it back a couple days. So right now they feel pretty confident that Tuesday of next week is when it's going to go live. They're just running through final tests of every way conceivable that they can try and break it to make sure that when you guys start using it, that it's working from the get-go. So just to give you a little sneak peek of some of the features on here. So when you go to sign up for Pay at Close, it'll be in your normal office settings. Then there'll be a new setting for Pay at Close. You'll go in there. It'll ask you to sign up for it. You click that you agree to the terms and conditions. You're going to add your checking account information where you want us to send the funds when you do a Pay at Close inspection, and you're signed up. Once that happens, it's going to automatically add Pay at Close as one of your services. And then when you book inspections, when you're booking from your side, you'll have the opportunity to add that as a service, just like you would any of your other services. And the only difference when you go through, there'll be a new Pay at Close tab, and it's going to ask you for title company information, which really we just need to know the closing date, the title company, phone number, email address. I think now they're actually even asking for, if you have it, I don't think it's mandatory, the closing officer name, but this is really all that we need to get. If something's missing when you're booking the inspection, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to show up in red here when you're on your normal order screen. It's going to give you some errors there, but the next thing that's going to happen with that normal email event, where the client verification of inspection with agreement and credit card payment link that you're already sending out, now it's going to have the Pay at Close link as well. So it's going to prompt your customer who chose to do Pay at Close to sign that Pay at Close agreement, and then it'll prompt them to fill in anything that was missing. So if you don't get any of that title information when you book the inspection, that's fine. It'll still prompt the customer to get that when you book the inspection. So again, this wasn't meant to be like a review of everything that's going to happen or how it's going to work. We're going to do that sometime early next week. We're going to go through with the ISN engineering team and do an actual run through of how everything's going to work. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a preview that it's here, it's super close, and it's going to be integrated and work really smoothly within your ISN. Obviously, this one is just without the error messages. Once everything's filled out correctly on the Pay at Close agreement, then this box here is going to have no error messages. At that point, it's a completed Pay at Close on your side. It's the same as getting paid. So at that point, it's a paid inspection. We have all the information we need. You get funded, and you can move on. And feel free to ask any questions at any point, guys. Interrupt me, shout out. But the purpose of this call today was for some of you beta testers who have not heard about what we've learned about consumer finance laws. As we were researching this and building this product and going back and forth with ISN, at one point a month or two ago, somebody in one of the meetings just said, hey, since we're deferring payment and we're charging a fee to the customer, is that like giving a loan? Do we need to worry about, being licensed as lenders? And I kind of laughed it off, but we thought we should probably talk to a consumer finance attorney and make sure that we're safe. And he came back pretty quickly that it was very black and white, that if your customer can easily discern that they're paying more to defer payment, it is considered a loan, and you would be required to be registered as a lender, which we obviously don't want to do, and you don't want to do. So our first question to him was, what's the workaround? Which that's pretty simple, and that is you need to offer Pay at Close for free as part of your inspection package. You can't charge any more because they're paying later at closing than you would on a normal inspection. It has to be the same price. They can't look at one inspection and say, well, it's $400 if I get this one, it's $450 if I choose pay at close. That's a loan, and so we can't do that. So my initial reaction is probably similar to what you guys' reaction is right now. Like, oh man, this really changes things. This is not the same product. If I have to offer this for free and raise my inspection price to cover the cost, and that, you know, we were a little nervous about it at first, but the more we've been dealing with this, the more excited we are that this is the way it's going to happen. In the end, we really think this is the best way to offer it. One thing we want to be really clear about, though, is, yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. You don't have to raise your price by $75, right? It's $75 pay at close fee. If you normally do an inspection for $400, you don't have to start charging $475 on every inspection. You only need to increase the cost of your inspection by the percentage of adoption that you think you're going to get with pay at close. So we ran through some numbers here. We wanted to give you guys some solid math on what you could expect. So in some areas, we've got one guy who's in Austin, Texas, somewhere around there, Joe, and he's doing, it's pretty common there. A lot of people do pay at close, but we've got some people in Florida where it's totally uncommon. Nobody does it now. When you talk to realtors about it, it's not something they're super excited about, most of them. But so in those areas, you may assume that you're only going to get 20% of your customers to choose pay at close if you're offering it for free. So we ran the math here, and I won't go through all of it, but long story short, when you take in the fact that you're not paying your credit card processing fee on that transaction, and that 80% of your inspections aren't doing pay at close, you only have to raise your price by $12, and you've covered the cost of your $75 pay at close fee on those 20% of your customers that are choosing pay at close. So at first, I know it sounds kind of scary that you got to jack your prices up, but you know, depending on where you're at, it really shouldn't be that big of an increase to cover your costs. And I'd be curious to know what you guys think in some of your areas on what percentage of adoption you think you'll get if you offer this for free. But
hey,
just so
Aaron,
yeah,
I'll tell you right now, if this is the way it's going to be, I'm not even going to offer it. I'm done.
Okay,
I'm not raising my prices at all.
Okay.
To offer pay at close. It's ridiculous.
No, I get it. Yeah.
The way this started out to begin with is totally different than what it is now. And to me, it's a big joke and it's not worth it.
Okay.
It's just like the e-checks. Jesus Christ, everybody in the country offers e-checks and we can't get e-checks.
Yeah,
which I mean,
that's starting Tuesday.
Something's all screwed up.
Yeah, so on Tuesday you'll have electronic checks. I totally understand where you're coming from.
I was supposed to be on the beta testing and never got that.
Well, it hasn't started yet. Tuesday is when we're doing the beta test, so you'll have an email on that here.
Well, I'll do that, but no, I'm not going to offer pay at close.
No, that's fine. So we understand that this is different. Unfortunately, it's out of our hands, right? This isn't our law that you can't charge a fee for pay at close. This is the state and federal government who is saying you can't charge a fee for pay at close. So in order to be compliant with your law and not break the law, this is the way it has to be done. We understand that that may not work for everybody, and are totally okay with that. We just want to show you that if you want to participate and you want to be legal and not break the law, this is how it has to be done. Is you have to offer it as part of your inspection. Now the other way you can do it is have your normal inspection, traditional residential, standard residential inspection. Your inspection fee is $400, and then maybe you have like a gold package, right? That includes your ancillary services. So radon, mold, whatever other ancillary services you might have, and you can kind of throw your pay at close into that. that's something where now they don't have an easy way to discern that you're charging extra for pay at close, because you've included it as part of that, gold package. So if you, and ISN makes it really easy to do package deals. So you can have your standard inspection for $400, and your gold package that includes your ancillary services and pay at close. And again, in that situation, you've built the pay at close fee into that gold package cost. And so you're offering it for free. So you're in compliance with the laws. So that would be your other option.
And kind of to circle back on what Aaron, started to say, how, we felt the exact same way as Michael in the beginning. We were like, whoa, this completely changes this product. But then as we could see that, hey, you don't really have to raise your price the full amount to cover this. It really led us to see all of these other aspects of different areas within the real estate transaction. Like if we were to look at the appraisal fees in most states, they're significantly more than a home inspection. And, as we look at that, why is that happening? It's because price really isn't part of the conversation. It's all being pushed to closing. And so at the end of the day, as we really started to look at this in the way that, we were being pushed down this road, that it had to become part of the inspection price, we could really see inspections getting to that same place, that if we can really take price out of the equation, whether that's through packages or through, increasing the price so that we can get pay at close as part of the transaction, so that it's getting pushed to closing, so that people aren't really price shopping at that point. We really see this being a product that can help get home inspections, up to the price point where they really should be. We've talked to people for years about the fact that when we started working with home inspectors, 20 years ago, the average price of a home inspection was $410. And today, 20 years later, it's $440, right? It should be $700 if it was following the same, line that other products have followed over the past 20 years. And so really, that is a big piece of this that excites us. As much as it feels hard in the beginning to talk about, raising prices, that's really what we can see happening. It's not going to happen overnight, but, as we look at this and start seeing whether it's we drive the price up through packages, we're able to get, the average price of an inspection up because people are more willing to add 3 or 4 different ancillaries to their product because of the fact that it's at closing, or because just price stops becoming part of the conversation. And right up front, the price of a home inspection, just a standard home inspection, could increase because it's pushed to closing. So those are just things to maybe think about as we continue, down this conversation of, what you think your markets, what portion of your market would really adopt this pricing or this method of pricing.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So we're in one of those markets that I think we start offering this for free and we make it super easy and people don't have to give credit card numbers and all that stuff. I think ours is going to increase pretty substantially.
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be a report that we can pull in ISN to kind of track what that usage rate is so that we can make adjustments as we need to?
Yeah, so you'll have the same type of reporting that you have for your credit card processing and your other types of inspections. So you'll be able to easily run a report that says how many pay at close inspections did I do last month, what percentage of my inspections were pay at close. So you'll have really good visibility into adoption with this.
Okay. The other question, it's probably was better a few minutes ago, and I think I emailed you guys about it. We're struggling with some that decide they want to do pay at closing after the inspection is performed. Mm-hmm. And we're struggling getting agreement signed. We're struggling with automation on that. Is there an easy way?
The new tool should fix that.
Okay. Awesome.
They'll have the ability when you're going to send out just like you would normally do. The inspection's done. They haven't paid yet. They're going to get an email with the report that says, this is locked. You can't open it until you pay for it. And then the payment options will have, credit card ACH or pay at close, and they can choose pay at
Beautiful.
close, and they can go through and sign the agreement. I don't know if that part of it's going to be on the first release or the second release, so it may not be there Tuesday, but within, by the end of the year, that's how
it should be, because everything's following the same flow, right? So if a customer hasn't paid you, period, if you're saying that they've paid and they want to swap to pay at close, which I don't think you're saying. If you're just saying they haven't paid you, you do the show up, do the inspection, and now it comes time to do payment, they go, oh yeah, I do want to do pay at close. That should be readily available, just because it's following the same flow at that point as it would have right up front, right?
Yeah,
it's still
it's
saying
just on
we
the
need
first
payment.
release. That's
Yep.
not going to be there. That is on the that is definitely something they're building, but it probably won't be there till like mid-December. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
But no,
that's how it'll
good to
be.
know.
It'll be super simple. The customer, whether they're checking out up front or checking out at the end, it's going to give them their payment options, and they can just choose which one they want. And if they choose pay at close, it's going to take them to the agreement. If they get halfway through the agreement and decide they don't want to do it, it's going to kick them back to their other payment options, and they can pay with credit card or check or however other they wanted to do it. So they've built it in, so it's pretty dummy proof. You won't have to be involved with any of that. It'll just be a normal checkout procedure that they do on their side.
Cool.
So anyway, and so like in your area, Drew, if right now, what percentage do you think you have doing pay at close?
Well, we have a lot of, I think we told you we've got a lot of people balking at the fee.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually still running where we're capturing credit cards and holding it to closing. So I think we're only doing 1 or 2 a week through you guys right now. And I think that's going to be upwards of probably like 20-25%. And then as that catches on, I think it'll be close to 50.
Yeah. So at 50, you'd need to be about, it's 40%, you'd need to raise your price by $25. At 50%, you're going to be about $30 right in there. At 70%, you're at 45. Now, that being said, for you guys who are starting out, we've wanted to do something for the people who are going to help us get the ball rolling here. And so we're going to lock your guys' price in at $50 for the pay at close. And just because we know you're taking a little bit of a leap of faith on here to make this thing happen. And we need people on board making this happen. And so we want to share some of that risk with you. So your price will be $50 for the first 50 pay at close users. This will not be a price that ever gets advertised. Like, you're never going to see an email from ISN or a banner on your ISN that says pay at close at $50. $75 will be the price point once we have 50 users, or January 1st, whichever one we hit first. We've got about 20 right now that have committed to doing this in the way that we're discussing, where they build it into the price of their inspection. So there's still some slots obviously left for those first 50.
And at your 50%, that's a $17 price increase.
Yeah,
is what you would take to.
Even at 70%, you're only a $25 price increase. So, I guess Ben brought up a good point, that part of the reason that we think this might be a really good thing is it'll help you drive up your prices, help you sell ancillary services, because people can push their payment to later. We also hope this will help you get in the door with your agents a little better, or agents of your competitors. Going to your agents, letting them know, hey, every inspection now includes free pay at close. That's a great selling point for you. That helps keep them loyal to you, especially when they start getting used to that. But man, going to your competitors' agents and saying, this is what we do now. Every inspection comes with a free pay at close. What a great way to get your foot in the door. So we're excited about that too. So that's all I had there for pay at close. I did want to just bring up the ACH is getting launched for anybody who wants to beta test that. That'll be available on Tuesday. You're going to get an email sometime, probably tomorrow, with a link where we're going to do the webinar similar to this, where we walk you through how it's going to work and how to get set up for it. But it's there. It's been tested. It works. They're just waiting to release it at the same time they release pay at close on Tuesday. But it's really straightforward. There's really not much to it. Every place where there's an option to pay with credit card, there's an option right next to it to pay with ACH, both from your point of view and from your customer's point of view. They'll have the ACH option. It's a really simple process for them. They enter their routing number, their account number. Most of this stuff will be pre-filled in. Anyway, it's really straightforward. I don't think it'll take very much training. It's pretty intuitive. It'll be easy for your customers to do it. It's easy for you to do it. Obviously, you'll want to, if you're not doing surcharging now, that this is the big reason why most inspectors are really trying to get into the ACH, so that they can offer a free option when they implement a surcharge on the credit cards. So now in your ISN, you can set the surcharge rate to a percentage or a flat fee. You can turn on your ACH and you can give your customers a choice. Do you want to pay with a credit card and pay this surcharge, or do you want to pay with ACH and do it for free? So that is, like I said, Tuesday, that'll be available. We'll be sending that email out, getting your, for anybody who's expressed an interest in ACH over the last 6 months, you'll get the email. It'll just ask for a confirmation that you want to do it. We have to go in and request that it gets turned on in your Card Connect account. That takes a day or two. And then we will work with ISN to get it integrated and turned on in the back end of your ISN. And then you just need to make sure you go set your surcharging rates to what you want them to be. So,
and just to make sure, I don't believe all beta testers for Pay at Close are automatically getting the ACH,
no,
correct? So if you have not expressed interest for ACH, you would want to let us know, and we'll still add you to that list. But at this point, it's only people who've expressed interest in ACH that will be getting that email.
Yep. So if it's something you want to do or experiment with or offer, let us know. ACH is $2 per transaction and $20 per month, and that's it. No other transaction fees, no percentages, no nothing. Just the $2 per transaction. And that's it. Any questions on any of this?
And if you'd like to, if you'd like to have further conversation around, what percentage of adoption you think is going to happen in your market and whatnot, we'd love to have one-on-one conversations with you. We can run the numbers with you and, make sure that, you're feeling good about where you would be starting at a price increase and whatnot that's going to cover you. So definitely, if you have some concerns or interest around that, just ping us and we can definitely have some one-on-one conversations around all of that.
And I had somebody, one of the inspectors had asked me the other day, we were going over this, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to get a lot of adoption. It's not very common in my area, so I would think we're at 20%. But what happens if I only raise my price by $12 and then I get 70% adoption? I'm not covering my costs. And my first response was, man, you found a gold mine. You found an untapped demand in your market that you didn't know was there, which means none of your competitors know it's there. You got a great in with all the other agents in the area now, knowing that there's a demand for that you didn't know was there before. So that there, hopefully that's a really positive thing. But I think I have a hard time, even in areas where it's super common. I kind of think 50% is going to be kind of the cap, where I don't know. I'd be interested to know in areas where you guys are at that Pay at Close is super common, if you think we'd ever get to 70% or 90% adoption of Pay at Close.
Yeah. Once it flips back to a buyer's market.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it starts getting pushed into the closing costs.
Yeah,
that's true. When sellers start paying closing costs again.
The $50 fee that you guys were mentioning, is that $50 until January 1st? And then
no. That's your price.
No, that's your price for life. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Yep. Well, I'm in if you guys haven't figured that out.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's it. Let us know if you have questions. Let us know if you have concerns. If it's something that you want to do and get on board with next week, just give us the heads up. Drew, we got you on the list. David, Stephanie, Michael, if it's something you want to try out, just let us know, and we'll get you on that list so that you can be in on that webinar.
And just a thought about the $50 getting in today. Obviously, being first to market is a big deal, but you're not only first to market, you're first to market at a lower price point. So even at increasing your prices, you don't have to increase your price as much as the guy who comes in at $75. So you will always have a competitive advantage, even if your neighbor gets in later. So it's definitely something to think about getting in today. So.
And Aaron, I think we would like to take up that offer as well.
Great.
We're
Cool.
just going to decide to. We always give discounts. We're just going to delete the discounts when we do pay close.
Okay.
Cover some of that cost. So.
Great. Okay,
All right,
David, we got you on.
Sounds good,
All
guys.
right. Well, we sure appreciate the time. We'll make a copy of it, or we'll get this video downloaded. We'll send it out to you if you want to refer back to it later. Feel free. And then for those of you who are on this list, you'll hear from us in the next couple of days with a scheduled time where we're going to run through with ISN an actual demo of how everything works and get you guys turned on. Cool.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Good to see you.
Have a good one.